Hi, guys. My name is Kim,
And I'm Abby,
and this is
Calabasas.
Cultura. Abby, we have someone special here.
Calla. We're so
Hi,
excited.
Calla. Ugh, literally
Hello.
freaking out. How are you this beautiful Friday evening?
I'm doing pretty good.
Ugh, I'm so
Nothing
excited.
too crazy.
You know what? This is crazy. We are living life on the edge right now, people, okay? We are talking
Have
about
fun.
deities on a regular Friday night. That is something. Heck yeah. So, Kala, I would love if you can take a few minutes to kind of introduce yourself. Who is Kala?
Well, I am Calla.
I'm
I
sorry.
I run a TikTok and Instagram where I do DD education and education around Hellenic polytheism. I also run a small business called Wed Grow where I make deity related products as well as generally posting stuff about my own practice as well and just kind of showing little snippets into that and what that looks like as well. So
Literally
that's me.
amazing, amazing, amazing. Yes, I'm so excited to kind of pick your brain a little bit more about your personal practice, your business, as well as just like the vastness of Hellenic polytheism. But I'm gonna make Abby go first because I'm nervous.
So, my first question is when we think of Hellenistic, hang on, I want to say that all the way over again. Hellenistic, it don't even say that, first of all. Like, are we okay? Like, it literally feels like Mercury retrograde. I saw somebody post that this week was supposed to feel like that, but obviously we're not in one. And I'm like, yeah,
Well,
I feel that. My internet's
we
been,
just
been down like back and forth.
we just got into Gemini season, right? And then we had Pluto in retrograde. When does that end?
Oh, girl.
I
Not
don't wanna Google
astrology.
it because 'cause I'm too s yeah, I don't wanna Google it because 'cause
No.
I'm too scared.
We'll just not
So,
even think about it.
yeah, we'll
Anyway,
just say it's Mercury. We'll blame it on Mercury. No, I'm so sorry, Mercury. I'm so
Steady
sorry.
Hermes.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
know.
when we think of Hellenic polytheism, there are a lot of misinterpretations on what that may look like. How do you describe or interpret Hellenistic polytheism, Carla?
In the most broad sense, it is generally just the worship of the Greek gods. I do say worship specifically, not just belief in the Greek god, because there is a certain framework and like foundation to follow when it comes to something that is titled a religion. And as an omnist also, like, I believe there is truth in all of it's real out there, all of the religions and all the deities and all the faiths, etcetera, but I'm not necessarily worshiping them, am I? So,
Yeah.
to be part of Hellenic polytheism, I think is specifically choosing to worship then the Greek gods. And then also the second aspect of that is then just the general revival and reconstructionism around that, and being what is officially labeled as a dead language, there will always be an aspect of revival to that, where we are trying our best to bring it back to life, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the reconstruction also of the information we can still find, even if there are holes and pieces missing, piecing them all together to create something that still is reminiscent of the past and doing that justice and honor while still, again, making something that is new and unique to today while still being faithful to that.
Man,
yeah,
So,
it's sounds like
that's
yeah.
such a
it's almost like a
beautiful
dance.
answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because in my head, it's just like, Hades, Zeus, Poseidon, okay, that's
Everybody
it,
help.
but no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Please.
please. No. It is, it's a very complex dance between all of it. I agree completely. Yeah, that was legit poetry. I was like, "Yeah, yeah." I've
Yay!
never thought to explain it that way. That was amazing,
I'm
especially in these
glad.
spaces out in our social spaces where there are so many different interpretations, so many different
Hmm.
definitions, so many different ways of doing things. It's sometimes very, very difficult to pinpoint exactly what this represents. So thank you for
I don't
like
think
kind
we've
of
ever
giving.
even asked anybody that, honestly.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I saved this one especially for you because I was like, I literally, I'm so excited because a lot of things that I've learned besides in just the textual studies and like primary context, a lot of it I learned from your videos
Aw,
and the way in which yeah, I was like literally as we started building and we were like, "Okay, so who would we like to interview?" And I was like, "Hmm,
Yeah.
Calla of the Red Grove, please." And so it's very, very exciting to kind of hear it in a more open and complex way, besides just the, like, Dee Dee crash course kind of situation, and I'm like, "Oh my god." I'm, like, taking notes in my head as we go because it's so interesting and it's so complex. Um
yeah.
and so now that you're here, I get to ask the nitty-gritty. Can you talk a little bit more about your personal journey and what led
Yeah.
you towards this specific path?
So I've told it a few times, not that I make it super accessible on my TikTok, but I've never been very religious growing up. It was pretty much, "Oh, your family's Christian. Okay, well, I guess, cool."
Yeah,
I guess if that's what you're raised as, then I guess that's what I am too. But never really feeling that connection and just, I don't know, just a lack of much care for any of it. It was my sophomore year of high school, actually, where I discovered witchcraft.
literally.
And
That's the perfect time.
Yeah, cute
yes,
angsty teen.
yes, essentially, we're like, tarot? Cool, let's read each other's futures.
Yeah, no one knows what they're doing, but it's the best. That's the fuck around and find out method.
Yeah.
Finally opened my eyes to like, oh, there's a lot more out there. There's choice, there's things to learn about. It's
Yeah.
not just like, oh, I was born into this thing. That's your only thing you got. Like, oh no, okay, cool. Let's start looking into all this, researching, and go out into the world.
Yeah,
Um, but still wasn't necessarily interested in religion. I liked witchcraft. I liked the craft and the physicality of it. And so that's pretty much what I was for a long time, all the way up until I had my grandpa pass, actually. And so I did have like a vague interest in Greek mythology. There was just like, oh, that seems pretty cool. But again, not necessarily feeling a drawn to a religion necessarily. But when he passed, it was kind of just like this click switch moment. And I'd always kind of been of Greek mythology. Hades and Persephone had always had my attention first and foremost. And when that happened was kind of this is the moment. This is where it's happening. And I reached out to Hades first because I was like, grief, someone's passing or did pass, and you're trying to figure what that
Yeah.
looks like, how
yeah,
it feels. Um, and it just felt right. Like it's impossible to really describe outside of it just clicked. Something finally was like, this is the thing for me. And from there, I never looked back. I got to know Hades and Persephone more. And while that did initially kind of start from more of that witchcraft lens, then it was, oh, okay, so this is part of their religion. Let's look into the religion, how to use the reading and the research and how my practice evolved and how I kind of eventually separated the two. I still love my witchcraft, but then I'm like, my religion and my witchcraft can be two separate boxes and they don't have to mix
Yeah.
necessarily.
yeah.
Um,
Mm.
and I don't know, I started my business to be devotional around that. I've dedicated giant portions of my house behind me here to
Yeah.
giant altars. And I don't know, it's just always felt like home, I would say. So, and that's kind of just how I got here.
Awesome.
I love
Do you
that.
do you feel like you're more of like a more modern Hellenic polytheist or do you feel like you'd more lean towards reconstruction?
So sometimes I would say I'm probably in the middle.
Yeah,
Mhm.
For some, I'd probably be too much of a reconstructionist for some revivalists, but I might also be a little too much of a revivalist
for
for a lot of
reconstructionists. Yeah.
reconstructionists.
Yeah.
And while I title myself, or I will say more often, revivalist, just because I'm not afraid to make modern adaptations by any means, I do really do like enjoy the aspect of reconstruction in my personal
Yeah.
practice.
Yeah.
And I think this is where the concept of like orthopraxy is really key for just anyone and in myself is having those foundation blocks and like the right practice, like as long as you're doing those few things, so there's not really a lot of rules when it comes to Hellenic polytheism. If you're just following
Yeah.
like the structures, there's so much room then and now for that personal aspect of your personal beliefs, your personal practices, how you might decide to do something or when you might decide to do something. They were arguing about it back then. Wow, about between maybe the theogony, if they believed in it or not, or orphism coming from an egg, or
Yeah.
the afterlife. They had so many different. We have a very like concept of like the underworld and afterlife would be, but even they were arguing about what would
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
happen.
Were they
So there's
layers?
room.
Which river? I don't know.
So it's like we can still have all that disagreement now, and it doesn't change the fact that we can all be Hellenic polytheists and believe in and worship the Greek gods and still have our own personal things that we do. And I think
Yeah.
that's always a beautiful part of it as well. So why
Yeah.
pick recon or revivalist? I'm following the building blocks and I'm doing me as well.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm like, anytime I do anything for Lady Aphrodite, I make sure to wash my hands, cleanse my spaces, but I'm also like shaking my ass as a form of devotion in the
Yes.
background of like, here you go, baby. Cause it's also, I think that's what's so beautiful about this specific practice and this specific religion is that you can play around with it a little bit because it's supposed to be unique to your connection to the divinity. And so like I agree. I think there's such respect and there's space for both sides or no side at all. So yeah, no,
Hmm.
I agree. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Ugh,
I think the gods of all too. Definitely.
100%.
Have you ever had a moment like UPG where a deity intervened in your life like drastically? And like what did that look like for you?
So when I think drastic, nothing necessarily comes to mind. I wouldn't say anything big has ever happened, but I would say the small ways in which they show themselves
Yeah.
regularly is kind
I
of,
resonate with that so
I'm
much.
always a little surprised. I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, that was so,
Yeah.
because I don't know if it's just, I don't know, the disconnect with like, I want to be able to see things, prove things, like have it like I can prove this thing 100% without a doubt in front of
Yes.
me. And so there's always this little voice in the back of your head where you're like, "That's not real," and I'm like, "Can you shut up?"
Yeah. I'm
Can you
like,
just let
girl, they
me
don't care
have
about
this,
you that
please?
much. Girl, you
Yeah,
think they care about you that much? I'm like, shut up. Please stop.
that's right.
Let me just have this moment.
Yeah.
But,
Mm.
like, it's impressive and brave when people, it's faith, and it's faith for a reason, whether it comes to the witchcraft or the
Yeah.
Hellenic polytheism,
Yes.
you're still making an active choice to believe even without that proof.
Yeah.
And it's again those small ways in which they show up that it's like just a little bit of more reassurance, a little more reassurance. Whether it's say, for example, I might be hurting for money in a moment and someone makes an order on my website and it's specifically an item for the deity, I would just being like, I need help.
Oh my
You
gosh.
know what's
Thank you.
crazy? I literally told, oh my gosh, the sculpture behind you of Hades and Persephone, like I was just looking online, yes, and I was like, Hades, if you really want this, you're gonna make a way for me. And and then I saw it behind you. I'm just like, I'm trying,
That is okay.
trying,
We're getting there. He's like,
we're
he was
trying.
listening. The goal is there. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I agree.
that,
That is so
That
funny.
that's a
reminds
cute
me
little reminder.
of something with Hermes actually. We had stopped by a liquor store, and hopefully that's okay.
Girl,
But
we
Yeah, yeah,
there was this crazy, I made a video about this too. There was this amazing, beautiful bottle that had like a little Hermes figure on top of it and all the Hermes iconography. But the bottle of alcohol was like 150 or more. I was like,
dang, of
I like
course.
it. It'd be great for offerings, but ugh, I am not paying
yeah.
that much.
Yeah.
But I said in store, Hermes, if I get an order for the exact amount of this bottle, I will come back, consider it a trade in exchange, and I'll buy this bottle of alcohol for you. What did I get the next day? An order for like the same price
Hell
as that
yeah.
bottle of
He
alcohol,
was
and
like,
it's still sitting over
yep.
there on his
He was like,
altar.
hmm,
That's so
interesting.
cool.
Like, that might taste a little delicious, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I
I
love that.
agree. I agree. I think I I love the huge, like, kind of UPG moments where it's like, "Oh my gosh, I see or I feel or I hear." But
Me too.
sometimes we do take for granted those, like, very small ones of, like, almost sometimes feels a little bit either like deja vu or almost like an epiphany or just those moments where you just, like, stop and like, "Oh, wait a minute." I know Abby has had some very recently or just, like, if I'm going on a drive and I'm feeling unsafe or uncomfortable or something, and I see something that has to do with Hermes or Apollo, like, we were driving over here and it was pouring rain and just, like, feeling kinda weird, but as we get on the bridge, New York City or to Philadelphia, in front of me, the car had an Apollo sticker, and I was like,
Oh,
"Lord Apollo."
Oh, me
Yes,
yay.
like,
too.
thank you
I
so
see
much.
you.
Yeah, we're good. We see each other right now, and so, like, those little moments where for some people, they think it's a coincidence, and that's totally fine. Everyone has validity in whatever you know what, I don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks. Let me I'm not even gonna try to be cute about it. I don't
I'm
fucking
always
care.
trying to, like, like, take apart shit that happens to me, though. I'm
Yeah.
always like,
Yes.
"No, maybe," and I'm like, "No, Abby, you need to chill out and just, like,
Yes.
God, have faith,
Yeah.
girl."
And
Like,
it's
it's
the
like after
learning
Christianity, it's just like I was like, "No faith. Fuck the bullshit."
nothing.
And then, like, 6, 7 years later, here I am, and I'm like, "It really is all about faith. It don't matter what you do."
Yeah.
It's
It
true.
is. It is. It's
So,
about
yeah.
faith and trusting your path and, like and also trusting that you're not gonna feel like that every single day. Like, we talked
Mhm.
about that, during our
Yeah.
last episode of, like, having moments of no faith or
Yeah.
questioning
I
faith,
trust
like,
myself more now,
yeah.
thankfully.
Yeah, and it's that, and
Yeah.
which I'm so proud of you for, because as you've been doing this and as you've been growing, so many incredible things have been happening in your life because you're trusting these
Mhm.
spaces,
Yeah, and I
and
think,
Lord
like, what Calla
Aw.
said, like, I haven't had anything drastically, but, like, so many little wins, like, have led me, like, along my way. I'm like, "Holy fuck." Like, I actually,
It's like
like, was like, "Wow, like, I'm here now. Okay."
this is the life.
breadcrumbing,
Yeah.
like, reaffirming, like, just like,
Yep.
Yes,
little by
And
little, it's like,
almost it's
"We
like
got you, we got you."
yeah, that's, like, what our brains need. Like, you know what I mean?
yes.
Like, just a little I know
Please.
mine does for sure.
Yeah, I just need I need those little reminders.
Yeah.
Um,
Yay.
ooh, okay. I actually love this question because I see for this question specifically, I see it all the time on social media, the
Oh, yeah.
discourse behind the yes, no, yes, no. You hear one person say, "Oh my gosh, no, you don't." Other people are like, "What? No, you must. You must get the like you must sacrifice the blood of a coconut and all this silly goofy shit."
The fuck?
Do you believe a deity has to connect with you before you create an altar or a space of worship?
So, I would agree that this is definitely a more modern thought in magical spaces like witch talk,
Yes.
etcetera.
Yes. We talking
Um,
shit. I don't give a fuck.
so, generally, I believe, do you have to wait for that? No. No, 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 no. But also, do I believe it could happen? Can it happen?
Yes.
Yes. Because there's definitely been moments where I haven't been actively worshiping a deity, and it's like things start just like one after the other, and you're like, I should probably give you some more attention or look into you more. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
But within Hellenic polytheism, more specifically, then um, the idea of like they're raised in this, children would do this. So like, why as adults on social media and the internet are we telling each other that they have to be the one to reach out to do this when literal children in history were worshiping the gods and involving them
Yeah.
in their everyday life?
Lady Hestia was in
Yeah.
everyone's house and Lord
Yes.
Zeus was in everyone's house. Like this was a culturally significant space. So yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. It was the norm for humans then, for now. Like, we were the ones reaching out, making that connection because there's that aspect of the reciprocity, the chorus, whatever, that back and forth, whether it's through the worship and the offerings and the gods wouldn't necessarily have just a random interest without building that relationship first. In a lot of cases, when you think of it, again, traditionally, historically. So it was through their everyday actions of building up that relationship and the reciprocity, which is why they had such kindness and fondness for humans. Being raised now in today's society where we're definitely not the number one religion by any means,
Mm,
and we're a minority. So it's like if you're not the one who's being interested or looking into it or worshiping or trying to give something, um, at least again, traditionally in the sense it's like, why would they reach out? But again, I know it's happened because I've
Yeah, that
experienced it
makes
and other
sense.
people
yes.
have experienced it, right? There's that personal aspect for everyone. But to say that they have to and that's the only way pretty much disregards all of the
Yeah.
history and
Yes.
traditional aspect of Hellenic
I'd
polytheism.
maybe have, like, one deity I'm working with if I just worked with the ones that reached out to me for real.
Yeah.
Like, for
Cool.
real, and that's not even confirmed. I'm just like, "Probably shit."
Like,
But all the other
maybe.
ones I wouldn't
Yeah.
answer because 'cause
Yeah.
I'm an Aries and I'm very heady. I'm just like, "Hey."
How are you? How are you
Yeah.
doing? I'm just gonna consecrate your statue
Yeah,
and
or
this
if I
right
just
here.
think on it really hard, I'm not, like, thinking about you or nothing.
Yeah,
Just a little.
no, no, no. I just made, like, a whole Pinterest board all about you,
Yeah.
and, like, what I think, like, our collage would look like together.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I just looked you up
Oh,
1,000 times on Pinterest, and now you're
Yeah.
showing up for me. You're
Like,
calling to me
what?
right now.
Crazy. Yeah. Which is
Wow.
yeah. And I am so glad that you said
So
that,
your
Abby, because I
AI
think
photos somebody made.
yes, yes.
yeah.
Can you believe
And
it?
so
I'm being an
s
asshole.
but I'm also very glad that
Me.
you're, like, bringing this up because I think it also creates that idea of and when we think about mental health and when we think about like sometimes we're seeking faith because we are in need of support and we are in need of someone to listen and to honor these really painful spaces. And I think having this kind of rhetoric that it needs to call to you
Hmm.
only be called to you can be a little bit dangerous in those aspects of like, yeah, like algorithms are kind of silly goofy. And if I look
Yeah.
into something, it's going to keep showing up. And so for those of us who are seeking support, who are seeking reassurance, who's looking for signs that might not be there, and we're starting to have this influx, it can cause psychosis. It can cause these different things that put us in a very precarious like space. It can put us in a very, very uncomfortable position because we're like, oh,
Yeah.
now I have to purchase all of these different things for this altar because I think that it's called, and so now I'm getting all these different things, and it has to be signed. Oh, now another one is showing up, and it's not the algorithm; it's this and this and that. So I love the idea of having the balance, but also learning how to maintain structures and boundaries when it comes to seeking those signs and those synchronicities. And so like even like when I work with people or when I talk to people that are seeking signs, it's like, okay, so leave out an offering and ask for something more
Mm,
physical or
yes.
ask for something more in your life right now instead of looking for a sign on like if I go on TikTok and I get this then this will happen. It's like, okay, so what about maybe instead, if you're trying to connect with Hecate, ask to like maybe I'll find a key somewhere or like something like that. And so just to be able to, because it's true, like pe- I know I make Pinterest boards all the time. I think I'm so cool, but as soon as you open up Pinterest, what happens? All of those things are happening or all these things are coming in. So it's like we have to learn how to navigate a more technologically advanced space
Definitely.
with these rules and restrictions. But I do agree 1 billion%. Okay, so side note, I always say Calla and you're saying Calla. Do you
So,
prefer do you prefer Calla like bitch? My name is Calla, call me Calla, or is it both Calla and Calla?
so the inspiration for my online name was the calla lilies, the flower, which is why I
Okay.
say it calla because calla lilies.
Okay, so then it's
Oh, I
Calla.
gotta look that up.
Beautiful. I love it. Okay, because 'cause I'm like,
Mm.
"No, I don't wanna say it now because I need" and I've been overthinking it this entire time.
No, you're good. There's
But
actually a
I
point I wanted to make to your last one too, though, that you had said about like the mental health aspect.
yeah.
Um, I think when you get into the mindset of like they have to reach out, it takes away like your choice and your agency. And also, it's like I have to be special to be picked. But then what happens if you're not and nothing
Yes.
happens and there's no signs? It's like just because something might be reaching out doesn't mean you have to. Just because
Yes.
something isn't doesn't mean that you're not, going to find your own space and place that works best for you. Like, you should be
Yeah.
able to make that decision and have your own agency within a religion by any means.
I love that. I love that. And also like this because there are like certain practices, whether they're closed practices or open practices, where they have a specific structure like that, where you have to be sought for. We're talking more in the lens of Hellpol or Hellenistic
Yes,
polytheism,
very
just
much.
because it does change. Like we say
Yes.
this for one thing, but for a whole separate. But I agree wholeheartedly. It does it impacts you because if I'm really
Hmm.
wanting to work with Lady Aphrodite, but she's not connecting to me in a way that I can see, I'm going to feel less than. I'm going to and so I love that because both things can be true at once. And
Hmm.
in these spaces specifically, don't feel so concerned about a deity reaching out to you. You are allowed to begin that process and check in with them. And it doesn't have to be this grandiose altar. It doesn't have to, you don't have
Hmm.
to spend hundreds of dollars. And it's so, I love seeing altars on social media. It's the most beautiful thing in the whole wide world. Like, it makes me so happy. I feel so proud of the altars that I have, but time.
Yes.
It took time and patience and also, like, balling on a budget. I cannot spend 200, $300 on specific pieces, but if I go to the thrift store and I see, like, a beautiful shell kind of glassware, a
Hmm.
bitch is gonna go get it for $5 because it doesn't matter because the thought
That's
and
right.
the emotion behind it is what's so important. Ugh, I can go on a
Yes.
rabbit hole about this for
I've
days.
literally I've literally been doing this for, like, 6, 7 years, and I have, like, a statue of Hades that's, like, this tall, and then Kimmy just got me
Aw,
a statue of Aphrodite, and that's, like, all I got. And then the other stuff I have is, like, candles, like, with their, like, iconography on it or, like, artwork and stuff, and I just got it over time because, number 1, I was doing it in secret for a long time, and number
yeah.
2, like, yeah, I'm broke. I don't really have and statues
Yeah.
and shit like that is expensive.
Yes.
Like, what the
I'm
fuck?
glad
I
you
feel
guys
like it never used to be like that.
Yes.
I'm glad you brought up the aspect of altars because I feel like we kind of dropped that part of the question. But like, I love my very elaborate altars, as you can see behind me if you're
Yeah,
watching video, um,
I
or if
love
I show
it
off in my
too.
videos.
Yes.
But at the same time, like I'm always replying to comments being like, be very aware this took a multitude of years,
Yes.
slowly
Yeah.
over time. It was not instantaneous. Also, it's not needed. Also,
Yes.
keeping in mind we altar and shrine uh, using both interchangeably in healthful spaces, but technically altar is just a flat space where you offer something. So that could be a windowsill, a really pretty
Yes.
rock outside. Like this is not needed behind me. Like the elaborate, the money spending. That's the ADHD and me getting going down a rabbit hole and wanting to buy everything. Like
Mhm. Mhm.
that's not needed. It can be
You
in a
never go
shoebox.
shopping for yourself anymore. It just never
No.
happens. Like, I was on the boardwalk and I
Yeah.
saw a beautiful sugar skull, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, Santissima would love this." I'm like, "I'm so happy. Let's go." And it was $5. Mm.
I do the same all the time. I'm like, "Oh, that reminds me of this deity. Oh my god, that's just a
Yes.
good thrift find."
Yeah.
And then it goes into an altar. I'm like, "I really gotta stop peddling to the deities."
Yes.
Like, oh my god.
Yes. Yes. Oh,
All that to say is like, you don't need a shrine. Technically, you would want an altar in the most basic of sense of
yes.
just a flat area to put something. Or that again, that's outside or a windowsill or an empty table for a short moment of time. So that's the bare minimum. You really don't
Yeah.
need anything
Yeah.
fancy. So
And offerings also don't have to be fancy. Like, let's think of, like,
devotional.
yeah, think about, like, Hakase for the restless set, and I always use this example. A lot of individuals just use grain or just use a little bit of rice.
Yeah. Tap water is my
Uh,
favorite. I just pour it out of the sink. I'm like, here you guys go. I'm sorry.
yes. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
literally. So sorry, I just blanked out. I apologize. I got a text message by mistake, or I got a text message and it went through. I was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "What? Wait a minute." But yes, literally tap water. Do like my sister's husband's family have honey. Like they make honey, and so I'll like get that, and I'm like,
That's
okay,
so
yes,
cool.
honey. Or if I go, I give them some of my food. If I made
Mhm,
extra, like especially for Lady Husky, like it does not have to be this elaborate thing. Side note
mhm.
with that of like, think about like spirituality and practice in more of a capitalistic sense. If we think about that as well, there are so many spaces. And also, side note, small businesses. That's what they're there for. We support our small businesses. We
Yay.
support these spaces. And it is worth it because of the time, the energy, the love, and the devotion in it. When it comes to altars, shrines, working with deities, you do not need to spend thousands of dollars, and you do not need
Mhm.
to get everything that everyone is saying at all times. If you go into a store and they tell you, "You need this candle with this thing, and this thing, and this thing," take a step back. You don't need it. If you are feeling pressured into purchasing multiple things just to prove that this is your practice or just to prove that you are a spiritual being, you don't need any of it. Remember, our magic came from the earth into our bodies. We are a vessel of this energy. Everything else is kind of like ribbons and sparkles and pearls. It's
Yeah,
some extra spice that we add to it.
I was saying in the past they were doing witchcraft with what they had on hand and what was around
Yes.
them.
Yeah.
That was what it was.
Yes.
And the
Which was weird.
elements, literally.
And the elements, which is also kinda weird, like, cause in the PGM, it was always like a crow's head or crow's skull and I'm like, "There were too many crows out there." Like you had that just, like, in your pocket? Like, okay, I guess.
I mean, maybe considering their story in connection with Apollo, maybe they really just had a bunch of crows everywhere.
Like, literally. And I'm like, "Okay." Because that's not very accessible now. Ugh.
Um,
Yay.
so my next question is, do you believe that there's like such thing as devoting to too many gods or higher beings? And I guess that kind of varies by person, but what do you think?
So I think that's also something like our last question that's very prevalent just in like modern day thought
Yeah.
for some reason
Yeah.
and was not necessarily a thing you would see in the past
Mhm.
because as polytheistic religions like Hellenic polytheism, it was whether you called on them for something small, like you were traveling for some reason, or if you were calling on Hermes or Hades on a curse tablet, like those would be momentary things. And then you'd have deities that were over your city or that you may have personally felt more connected to that would have been more regular. Like they were going here, they were going there. Like it just depended on the need, the time, the part of your life.
I
And
resonate with that so much. That's exactly how I am. Like Roman gods, Greek gods, come on, all y'all. I might just do one ritual. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you. Leave my offering. If I'm in a group setting, usually I only like work with like different like Roman gods and Greek gods that I don't already have a relationship in like a group setting. I'm the same way. I don't get the stigma. Like when I first started, I was like, there's no way that I'm gonna be able to keep up with two or three or more. And now I'm like, fucking come on. What could it hurt?
yeah, because that's the thing is like what's too little or too much
Yeah.
is vastly different from person to person. Like, I'm
Yes.
devoted specifically to 4 deities, but for some, that's like, I can't imagine more than 1 or 2 versus like, "I've none." For each of what I do, I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, well, hi." But and then is it difference of too much or too little if it's devoted versus just simply worship? And there's all these weird nuances. It's like, why are we trying to draw lines in the sand?
A
Yeah.
box. Yeah.
Everyone can handle their own thing. It's
No, I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. And I also am learning from my own personal experiences of it's also okay to make firm boundaries between if you are a Hellenic polytheist, but you are also engaging in ancestry work, but you're also engaging. We are complex beings in and of ourselves. Like we are souls
right.
living a human experience, and that comes with
Yes.
nuance. And so that was something that I was very kind of, I guess I carried it with a little bit of shame and a little bit of like, I'm gonna be judged for this because, like, I'm working with my ancestors a bit more. I'm also, like, engaging more in my Latin heritage and connecting with Santa Muerte because
Yay.
she's been in my life all of my life. Um,
Mhm.
And so that of like, oh, does that mean that I can't worship and devote to my divinity within the Greek pantheon? And that felt like the physical reaction to that was just
Mhm.
absolutely not. That these are pieces of me because again, we're
Yeah.
not just one thing. And so just learning how to make those very firm boundaries on the
Yeah.
basis of the practice. There are
Yeah.
some specific practices that you cannot engage in other things. There are practices where it's like, "I don't give a fuck as long as you give me wine every few days and
Hey.
make sure my shrine and my altars are clean and provide these things and prayers," and so I love your response, both you and Abby, because it is so true. It's like, it's nuanced, it's complex. No one fucking knows. Like,
Indeed.
Yeah.
we
It's
are raw dogging life and hoping for a cool outcome. It's
right?
it is a scientific method over and over and over again, and we're just trying to figure it out day by day. But the beautiful thing
Right.
about that is that as we learn, we grow, and as we experience these things, we are developing more of who we are in our personhood. And Abby and I say
Exactly.
this shit all the time. As long as we're a good fucking person, who the fuck cares?
Yeah. And
100%.
I can't lie, if I catch a vibe with a deity, I'm staying. I'm gonna beg them to stay, please. Like
I
Babylon,
mean,
like
that's
like
what
I am a Hellenic polytheist, but like I also work with Babylon and Anana, and it's like it's everywhere all the time. And like I worked with Lilith and Lucifer before I even worked with Persephone and Hades, and I feel like all roads have led to here. I don't know.
Yeah,
like, we don't have
absolutely.
to put ourselves in a singular box, and
Yeah.
especially as an omnist in the sense of, like, it's all real. As long as you're approaching things respectfully within their cultural context and frameworks, and you're
Yes.
doing that properly to each area you're potentially going to, then what does it matter to anyone else? If you're doing what you're supposed to do within those contexts,
Yes.
that should be what matters.
100%. And then you don't engage in practices that you should not be engaging in.
That's true. Close practices exist.
Oh my goodness. I say that every single I will say it till I'm blue in the face. If there's a closed practice or if there's specific materials that are specific to closed practices and you're using it, you are an
Mhm.
asshole.
That's right.
Ugh. Okay. This question like and segue. um
Yeah.
So this is a question that Abby and I kind of discuss all of the time. We work full time. We are engaging in our personal practices. We are building a podcast. We are building our own businesses. We are doing all of these different things. And while it's fulfilling and beautiful and it brings so much joy, there's burnout. And so
Yep.
for you specifically, as you are a parent, you work, you build business, you oh, you build business, full cave woman voice. You build
Woo.
business, but you are you are engaging in all of these different spaces and layers of your life. How do you manage to do all these things? And what does burnout look like for you? But also what does it look like to soothe these spaces in more of a spiritual lens?
Oh, man. So,
Mhm.
not only is it a lot of things that you're trying to, like, balance and juggle, but
Yes.
also I think being ADHD is just I don't cope with burnout very
Nope.
well. I push myself until I'm falling off the ledge, and then I'm like,
Yes.
"Oh, shit." Um,
It's like, why am I
but
crying at 2 p.m. because I don't have any more mac and cheese? Is this a cry worthy reason? Mhm.
yes.
Yep. Yeah. Honestly.
But how I try to tackle it once the burnout does happen is usually I will pull back from spiritual stuff to focus on the mundane first, being a
Yeah.
mother and family. I have little ones to take care of. So if I have to expend my energy somewhere, it's going to be on them first and foremost. Then, of course, goes to business because, like, yes, my business is devotional, and I started it because devotional. And it's always a little something I can have every single week that reminds me of them, that still keeps me connected spiritually. But also, people paid for things that I got to make to send out. So that becomes like those are the main two things. If everything else is falling off, I have to keep those two things juggled, you know?
Yes.
But on a like, I can tell also when I'm burnout is when I, like, start just kind of abandoning easy offerings or putting, like even just pouring
Yeah.
water into their cups, it just doesn't happen. Um, but ways I like to still feel connected during burnout where I don't feel like I just completely dropped it off my plate and it's nowhere is the little things you can find out in the world or in your home and your life, whether I'm driving and I see a hawk or there's some really pretty sunlight coming through the clouds. I'm like, loosen a pal high. Or music, devotional playlists I freaking adore so much. It's just like little tiny reminders in a variety of ways at least keeps it connected to me even when I'm falling off in other areas
Yeah,
related to
Yes.
it. So,
that's
oh.
important.
No, yeah, that's so valid. Like, as you were saying it, I was like, "Yeah. Yeah."
Mhm.
You just try
Same.
to make it through in
Yep.
our world right now, in our society. Like, things are shifting, they're always changing, there's always something new happening, and
Mhm.
it's a lot. So, yeah, like, mundane days are so important, especially if you're juggling. Abby, what are some things that you do?
Honestly, like, I literally my favorite thing to do to feel like more in touch with them, I like putting on music and like shuffling it and letting them like talking to them, being like, we can listen to music together. And sometimes like I'll get a message that way, honestly. It's like shufflemancy, I guess you could say. And I don't know, I like putting flowers in my space. That really like helps me a lot. Like, even if it's
Yeah.
just an offering for, like, Persephone and Hades, most time I give them, like, offerings together, even if Persephone is up here, because we don't have a little hookup spot in my house, okay? I stand that,
I do the
yeah.
same.
Yeah,
Same.
yeah. I love them together, like, okay, so I'm moving into a house with, like, cypress floors, and I promised that I will put his stuff on the floor, so they are gonna be apart soon, but it's bittersweet.
And so
Anyway,
you think
but
you think that's really gonna stop him?
yeah, no.
That's
That means I just
No.
need to have, like, maybe more iconography of them together.
Yes.
But, yeah, I don't
Yes.
know, just talking to them, really. I feel like it's not that deep, you know? Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be that serious.
Yeah, and
I used to
I
think
love
it did, but
flowers. Oh,
yeah.
because it's intimidating at first. I love flowers. I use flowers and also because, like, that offering lasts for a little while. And so, like, giving
Yeah.
them flowers and like, "This is your offering," so I don't feel so overwhelmed to have to provide
Mhm.
daily. And that's also I love using garlic and, like, actual, like, whole
And
garlic
I
for
like looking at flowers
Hecate.
too.
And I yes, waking up, I, like, go and I get a mix of different ones, and I mix them all together, and every single one has, like, a different variety of, like I'll get, like, carnations, I'll get white and pink and reds and oranges and all these different things, and I'll give, like, Santissima more pinks and whites, and Aphrodite, I'll
Aw.
do more reds and pinks, and Apollo and Artemis, they have their own plant, so I'll bring sunflowers for Apollo if I'm going to do some type of petition, but, like, I give them more, like, plants and greenery. Hecate, I give her flowers, it dies in 2 days, and I'm like,
Yeah,
"Thank
for
you.
real.
Thank you."
Like,
But
I
yeah,
literally
no.
gave Hades and Persephone, like, there was, like, a different flowers on there, but I had, like, orange flower, and at the edges were, like, getting crispy after day 2. I'm like, "Bruh," and then I look back and the red roses, they're, like, small and they're completely crisp. Yeah,
Are
oh
those the
my
Lego
god.
are those Legos?
That's
yes, as are
Yes.
the fact that you guys mentioned music and
I
flowers,
d
I was like, I can, like, de-stress
I
making some
need
Lego
that.
flowers, but then
Yes.
I associate them with their deities, and I'm like, "Okay, now it's going on your altar after
Yes,
I've
yes,
Oh
de-stressed
my
making a
yes,
god, that
Lego
is
flower."
so
yeah,
cute. I did not know they had
literally.
Lego daffodils.
Yes, they have
Yes.
I do like the roses, or I
Daffodils,
also
sunflower.
they also have, what are they called? Succulents.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Or I
Daffodils, like,
try
last literally for a month here, and then they get crispy. They literally are in
Mhm.
February, and that's it. But other places, like, more north of me, like, they last for, like, a couple months, so I never have time to
Yeah.
pick them. I'm like,
No.
"Sorry, y'all." But
Like,
the
we're
Legos,
trying our
now that I
best.
know that, like, I need that. What is your opinion on those who solely use TikTok and other platforms for their information? Like, for, like, their learning tools, I guess you could say.
So generally, as with anything I'll answer, I say it's kind of nuanced because
Yes.
I know there are people who will be like, if you only get it from here, or not only, I should rather say, people who get any of their information from, say, TikTok or social media, that is crap. But it's like, there are people like us who do
Yeah.
the research and reading as a content educational creator as well, who is trying to bring, like, good education to these social media platforms. It's out there. You can
Yes.
find good information if sort through it all, 'cause the
Use
FYP is
discernment,
gonna
yeah.
FYP. Yes, use your
Yes.
Yeah.
discernment. But also, is it your only place? That's when I'm like, "Okay, yeah, don't only get your information from there."
Yeah.
It's a great way to maybe get some inspiration. Maybe it'll introduce you to a topic you never knew about before. It might lead you down rabbit hole where you go find your own articles and books to go research. It might open your eyes to something you didn't know existed. So I still think there's a very valid place for it,
Yeah.
but probably just not don't only do that.
Yes. I like
Yeah.
to think of it as a supplement or a tool, not our only source of information.
Yeah. It's
Found
always
so many resources through TikTok and stuff, like, through
Yes.
people like, authors, I found so many, like, classes, like, I would've never, like, found like, been for real, I would've never been as knowledgeable. It all started with social media, like,
mhm.
Yeah.
off the
It
cuff.
opens your world, your perspective to all the
Yeah.
differences and what is out there for you to look into. Also
Yes.
Yeah.
community aspect, because if you're just reading
Yes.
books and articles, like, you miss the human aspect of with
Mhm.
each other.
Yeah.
There
For
has to
real.
be there has to be that duality because it's like if I am only receiving information from other people, I'm not able to make my own opinion because I'm basing it off of someone else's opinion. But also, like, it's nice to have other opinions in order to decipher who I am. Like Abby
Mhm.
and I, we are both Hellenic polytheists, but there's certain things that we do so differently, and we will sit and have debates and be like, okay, so we're gonna read this and we're gonna look at this article and what is this gonna look like? And even that is such a gift because not only are we learning from one another, but we're
Also.
deciphering who we are as practitioners, who we
Mhm.
are as our within our belief system. So yeah, 100%. I think it's beautiful. I love it. I'm learning new people. I'm finding other resources, but please do not just use it
Yeah, you have
because
to
you're
remember, like,
missing out.
the bias and lens of who, like, how old, their experiences in life, their beliefs, like,
Yes.
Yeah.
anything they share is gonna go through that lens, and that's also part of your discernment. So it's like, you can take that, you want to process it, but then, yes, discover who you are and what you like and how you want that to fit with yourself in the end.
Yeah.
You're
And
not
And
just
it'll
also
a
probably
copy of someone.
change.
mhm.
Yeah.
And also not to be like, some people are not doing it for the right reason. Some people
Yeah.
are seeing that these
Yeah.
ideas and these belief systems are coming into themselves again and are becoming more popular, and people sometimes like to monetize or begin to construct their popularity on these things. And so I love that you
Mhm.
it like started talking about discernment, using your discernment. If you feel some type of inkling that maybe information is not accurate, or maybe the individual who's providing it doesn't really know exactly what they're talking about, don't be going to people's comments and be like, you're wrong.
Just
Go
double
and look where
check.
this
Yeah.
is. Yeah, double check, double check. It's totally okay to question other people. That's when student becomes master, even though we're always going to be
Mhm.
student, but that's when we
Yep.
start to learn about who we are and how we develop. You
That's
start
right.
asking questions. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
sadly, people out there are in
Yeah.
it for the clout, or they want to be the authority, or just
Yes.
quick money in a
Yeah.
lot of cases
Yes.
too, and it's like,
Or just
uh,
trolls. Or just trolls,
Yeah.
nah,
Their
and
the
sometimes
amount
ego.
of
yeah,
those I've blocked, I'm just like, "I'm not
yeah,
taking the rage bait." Block.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard. Sometimes I just like to be like, "Oh, per pussy queen boss, yeah,
Yeah, like,
yeah,
whatever you
you
say,
you're
girl.
so strong. You're so strong in your opinion." It's like, okay, like the beautiful thing about where we are in our spaces is we don't all have to agree. We don't because it's our interpretation. But also,
Right.
shut the fuck up. Let me let me believe in the way that I need to. Teach
Yeah.
me. If you're coming to me in a space of education, I love it. That's what our community is about, teaching one another. If you're gonna like message and be like, "Hey, I know you said this. I don't think it's fully accurate. Let's look at this resource." I'm gonna be like, "Thank
Let's have a
you."
conversation, right?
Yes.
Like, let's both
Let's
True.
learn something from this.
Yes, let's
Mhm.
open up dialogue because you're teaching like this is there's not one set teacher. There's not one set matriarch or patriarch. It's truly a community. It's stories that came together and created this beautiful space. And so understand that there is validity in your belief as long it's on the basis of research and knowledge and experience and introspection. It's multi-layered. You don't worry about just copying, pasting.
It also, like, everyone's at different spots too, like, you have the, like, incredibly new beginners, you have people in intermediate and advanced, and it's why I'm always so determined to, like, respond to as many comments as I can, because it's like, how can I help? Literally the purpose of the educational content
Yeah.
Yes.
is to I want to be able to help you. So if you want a dialogue and you're in a comment and I want to be able to answer you, it's like there should be no stupid questions. While some people obviously it may get frustrating to hear the
Yes.
same
Yeah.
question a lot, I still always want to approach and be able to answer
Mhm.
people as genuinely and as honestly as possible. Like again,
Absolutely.
education, community, we're all learning at different places and we want to help each other.
So this is a side note question. Um, and you do not need to answer, but this was my curiosity. I've asked this before for other practitioners that do more educational content. When are too many questions just too many questions? When does it become, "Oh, I'm teaching you and I'm educating you,"
Like
versus,
redundant,
"Oh,"
yeah.
not even just redundant of like, "Oh, like what you're seeking is a mentor and you're
Mm.
taking up a lot of energy, time,
That
and
makes
space
sense.
that I may not have or also like can't really afford right now."
Yeah.
What is the line between I'm gonna help you provide insight versus you're seeking a mentor and either I cannot be that for you or maybe we're gonna have to figure out a payment plan because now you're seeking hours of my day. How do you find the balance between answering questions and building support versus you're seeking a lot more time and energy from me that either I don't have to give or is in a whole other process of my spaces?
So there's always like the request folders, right, on TikTok and Instagram. And so I kind of make this distinction where I am always trying my best to answer as much as possible to help and educate in comments. But then I like it publicly. I like it in the comments because if I answer your question, maybe someone else also
Amen.
had that
Yeah.
question. And so then my response to you could help 10 other people, who knows, who
Yeah.
comes across it. Whereas when I have people who come to my DMs and stuff and they're asking things maybe I had videos on or something, it's I'm only then helping one person. Now, if it's a very personal kind of like, I don't want everyone to see this kind of situation,
Yeah.
I do answer the occasional DM to help. But if it's like, hey, I have this part, or if I answer this one question you had, and then it starts to become a chain of them,
Yes.
Yeah.
that's when I'm like, I kind of just dip because I don't want to be
Yeah.
mean and I don't want to be like perceived as mean. So
Mhm.
I just kind of I ghost a little.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some and that's hard. That's also hard to communicate that too,
That's
because
what I do.
in in public spaces, it's extremely difficult to tell somebody no. It is. And so learning how do we do that in a
Yeah.
way that and it's hard. It's hard to find that balance of like, "No, this is my boundary. This is my
Yeah,
firm boundary," without sounding mean, but also, who the fuck cares? Because if a boundary is a boundary, like, that's that. A boundary if someone finds a boundary mean, then they were never planning to accept it or respect it anyway. And so it's like so then you find and it could be as simple as and easy as, "Oh, okay, you look like you are very, very curious, you have lots of questions. Here are other resources or other practitioners that do actually provide mentorship." Okay, so before we transition into our siren song and our reading, can you tell us a little bit more about Calla and the Red Grove and your business and all of the things that
yeah,
come with it?
yes, I would love to. Thank you. So I run the Red Grove, and that came about because of Persephone and the idea of like the pomegranates. That's why there's a lot of pomegranate imagery within my like logos and stuff. And it really just started as a passion devotional project because I don't know, there's just certain things you're like, I could never do that. I mean, that's so cool for other people, but like Me? Nah.
Yeah.
Uh, so I was
Always.
just like, full-time job, do this in on the side, cool. Like it's a way to be connected and yeah, I'll earn some cash on the side, but pretty much I was sinking everything I made right back into it. More products, expanding lines, better quality. Like what I have now is not anywhere near what I had when I first started, quality or even diversity wise. Um,
Really.
but now I offer for not just Greek deities, but I offer candles, deity oils, the regular witchy deities. Either way, across various pantheons. When I started with like a list of 10, and then also being able to pour back into it, where I got to do some of my more nerdy stuff and make fun video game pop culture related perfumes. Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
perfumes. Duh. I also have deity perfumes.
Yes.
And just seeing how far I've come and then where I want to go because I want to do a tiny shout out to my friend Vanna Kitslesiu, because she started her business because we became friends and then I was helping her. And so she started hers because I was coaching her through different things. And
It's
now she does
amazing.
all this
Yeah.
cool different creations I never would have dreamed of that she does her own, like separately. And we have a goal one day is like, I want to be able to move to California so that we can combine our businesses
Oh,
to Elysian Grove because she's Kits Elysium. I'm Red Grove, so Elysian Grove. We
That
want to
is
open
oh
a
my
literally
God,
physical
so
that's so
freaking
location
cool.
cool.
from, and then if we open a physical location, we could have a place to do rituals, have a community for
Yeah.
like people in person. And it's just like, ah, man, I didn't think I'd be here, but I got my bestie who I met online, a fellow Hellenic polytheist. Also, she's an Indonesian shaman. Since we're saying you don't have to be in one box, very cool, right?
Yeah.
So fucking
That's so
cool.
fucking cool.
Ah,
It's not an
she's just
if, it is a when.
that's
Yes.
It's
right,
not a want, it is I'm going to. These are things that
and
are
we're gonna
going
make
to
it.
happen. It's happening.
Yes,
That is absolutely incredible. That makes me
yeah,
so excited because it needs to have like collaboration, all these different like it's so cool to see someone else grow and knowing that it's
yeah.
like I get to the honor that I feel being able to be part of that growth is it's that's something special and that's so awesome. That got I was like, Abby, that's what we do.
That's right. See,
That's
community and friends. It's so
yes,
important.
it's so important. Ugh, are we ready for Siren Song, guys?
Yay! I'm excited.
Ah, okay. So, Calla, what's your Siren Song today?
We're going to do "Creature" by Half Alive.
Ooh, why did you choose this song?
I feel like it is just a very human experience song, just being yourself and alive.
Yes. Ooh, I love it. Abby, what's your
Yeah.
song?
And I have to listen to music to make myself like be like get in touch with my soul.
Yeah.
And I feel like this song is just written all everywhere I look in Alabama, where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
It's Strange Fruit by Nina Simone. I love that song.
Yes.
And I've always
Yes.
loved that song. But I just feel like right now, especially like it makes me shake even thinking about it. Just
Yeah.
all the bad like literally we have not progressed at all.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
think you
And
think
we've
you
had this
know?
conversation
I'm just
earlier too
like,
about
fuck.
that. Yeah. And
Yeah.
also just to be
Like, it
we
actually
have to
makes me
sit in that.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I just listen to the song. Like, I'll listen to it over and over and over.
Yeah.
Just who am I to look away? Like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
you know?
We have to sit in that discomfort and we have to keep bringing these things out, keep talking about it because they need to exist in our spaces. And so keep listening to it.
Life imitates art.
Art imitates life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Life imitates art
Cycle.
limitates life. Yeah, it is a
Mhm.
cycle. Ugh. I would have to say, and I've said this one before, and I don't fucking care. Good girl, Paris Paloma.
Eh.
It's heaven is a fed girl. I think we forget and I literally like I think even just today, being out, being with my family, seeing all of the generations of women in my family, all different sizes, shapes, colors, and just like the beauty of body, the beauty of of who we are, what we create, the generational life of individuals and everybody. And I love it. Heaven is a fed girl, and I am a fed girl, and I am my own piece of divinity in whatever space that looks like because I'm exactly who I am
Yay.
and what I'm meant to be. So, yes, ugh, and I will keep saying it. Ugh. Okay. Are we ready for a reading? What cards are we using, Calla?
Oh, that's a good. I got to find it. The Mysteries of Ulysses. It is an oracle deck that I created, centered around the Eleusinian mysteries and Hades, Persephone, and Demeter.
That's amazing.
I gotta get that.
Ugh.
There's like 68 left, I think, as of this moment.
Yeah.
I would hope to be able to do more runs in the future, but man, making decks is not cheap.
It is, yes, it
Yeah.
is. It's something. It's something.
Okay. Get my cards.
Mhm.
The shuffle. Is it general? Are we
What?
answering any kind
Yep.
of question?
Whatever it is you feel called.
See what comes out then. I'll have
It
to
was
get
like,
it off the
come on.
floor in a second. Okay, well, there's one on the floor. Woo! Got it. We've got Hades Theos, Divine Order.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's so pretty.
There we go. And I'm gonna reach my booklet because I know I made it, but I did not memorize 68
And
cards.
you said it sold out?
No, she has
No, I
68
have
left.
yes. But
Oh,
once it is limited, so once the 68 sell out,
yeah.
who
Oh.
knows?
Yeah.
Let's see, 43. I also organize them by number in the booklet because I hate when oracle books don't put them in order and I have
Mhm.
to play hide and seek
Yep.
to figure out my reading.
Sorry, y'all. I just had to kill a big mosquito. Like this, a little spider. Hold up.
Oh
It was like this fucking big. It was
Oh
huge.
no.
Anyway, sorry. Oh, are
Trying to
you
send you
okay?
signs already.
Yeah, literally.
Okay. Like Hades Theos, honored in the Eleusinian mysteries as the divine ruler who maintains order in the realm of death and rebirth, you are being called into sacred leadership. This is not about control for its own sake, but about creating structure that upholds life, stability, and transformation. You are ready to lead with clarity, discipline, and authority. Bring calm to chaos. Take responsibility not as a burden, but as a sacred trust. Your steady presence becomes a pillar others can rely on, and build with wisdom and rule with care.
Love that.
That's
a good one.
beautiful.
I think
Can
that's
you
it's what we've been talking about too.
literally, it's like, yeah, you got this. Literally, you are the leader. Let's go. Oh, I love that.
Right.
Could you show that card one more time? My jaw literally dropped.
Yes.
That's stunning.
It's
That's
one
so
of the
Oh,
antiquity
wow.
art pieces there.
Yeah, that's so stunning. That's so beautiful. Oh, oh my gosh.
The,
Well,
right there on the bottom. Some of the artwork ones I draw. Justice. Persephone,
that's
Persephone.
stunning.
it's so beautiful. That is so beautiful. Oh, well, Kala, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still freaking out right now. Like, I'm just like heavy
Thank you
breathing.
for asking and having me.
Yes,
It's so much fun.
absolutely. Thank you. Where can we find you?
So it is Calla underscore the underscore Red Crow. TikTok and Instagram. Those are my two main platforms. So yeah, or the redgrove.com for the business.
Okay, beautiful. You guys know where to find this. If you don't know, we are on Spotify, Amazon, wherever you find Amazon. We are on Spotify, Apple, wherever you find your podcasts. We are on TikTok. We are on Instagram at Calabasas Cultura or at Calabasas Cultura 1. You can email us with any stories or any questions, honestly, about anything at calabasascultura@gmail.com. I am Kim.
And I'm happy.
And I'm Calla.
And this is
Calabasas.
Cultura. Bye.